Doo-ba-doo. Oh no, not again. Ah, oh my gosh, send help, send help. Ah, ah, ah. Oh no, please, why? Why me? Ah. Is it over? Stop clapping. This is serious.
Hi, I'm the internet's Larry IRL, and today I'm gonna teach you to do some shit.
3, 4, Larry is better than everybody at doing everything. Yeah.
Hello YouTube, Larry in real life here, and this video is for my buddy Ronin. He is the oldest Diablo streamer in the known universe.
Battery? Battle. I gotta put my teeth in.
I mean, he's old, just so old. Anyway, he asked me to create an earthquake effect for his stream, like the one you probably saw at the start of this video, assuming I edit that in later. And this is what I've come up with. So, a few things right out the gate. This only works with OBS, and you'll need to download and install a plugin called OBS Shader Filter. But aside from that, that's all you're gonna need. And don't worry, I will provide all the links to the resources used in this video in the description below. And please, if you find this video helpful or entertaining, make sure to like and or subscribe. I really would appreciate that. Now, without further ado, let's get shaken. And scene. Okay. Let's begin. To begin with, we are going to download the necessary resources we need to make this effect. You'll find links to those resources in the description of this video. The first one we will download is the OBS Shader Filter plugin. If you click that link, it'll take you to the OBS project website. From here, go to download, and that will give you a prompt to save it to your desktop or your downloads folder. Once we do that, we go back to the video description, and we also want to download the earthquake overlay with the sound effects, and you can see that's just a Google Drive link. Click that, it'll open up another link, and once it does that, we just want to click the little download button in the top corner here and save that to your downloads folder or your desktop as well. Unfortunately, this plugin doesn't come with a Windows installer wizard, but I will walk you through how to install a plugin for OBS real quick now. What I like to do is open up my downloads folder and then move that to the side just like that. And I click File, Open New Window. And I like to put this one right beside it like that. In this second folder that I've opened up, I go to my OBS install location, which is by default on the C drive, program files, and then OBS Studio. And then I go back to the downloads folder, which is on the left here. Open up the file that we downloaded, open up OBS Studio, and you can see now that these files kind of match. So it's just a matter of going through and dropping these in the right spot. Oh, hi Mark. Here we are back inside OBS, and it's time to set up the shake effect. It's really simple to do. I've set up an example scene, as you can see. I've named it Earthquake Example, and at the moment all this scene has in it is a picture of an earthquake. So to add the shake effect, it's really quite simple. You just right click on the scene you want to add it to and select filters. Now this can be whatever scene you want. It can be your gameplay or you're just chatting or whatever. That's up to you. But just right click the scene and go filters to open up this window. Now we want to click plus, and we're looking for the user defined shader, which is usually down the bottom. Don't worry if you don't have all the same filters as me. You should, now that you've installed that plugin, have the user defined shader. So we click that. We're going to rename it something like Earthquake and go OK. And now, before we continue any further, we're just going to make sure we hide that filter. We're going to turn it off just like that. Now we come over to the settings here. We're going to select use effect file because we're going to be using a .effect file. We're also going to check the load shader text from file. Once we do so, we will be able to browse for some shader text files. So we click browse and we're looking for the shake.effect, which is right here. You notice that it says .effect. That is why we had to check this one earlier. Now that we've done that, double check that this is hidden, and we want to go down here and click reload effect. Now sometimes things might crash here. That is why I suggest turning this off. It only happens when you first set it up. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I didn't design the plugin, but it just happened. So to be safe, turn it off first and then click reload effect. Okay, I think we're good. I think it worked. I don't think anything broke. We're gonna test it. We can turn it back on and we can start messing with some of these settings. So we want to go randomize movement, maybe add a wobble. Straight away you can see things starting to shake. Let's set this a bit higher. Let's set this like 100. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Maybe turn off the wobble. Nothing's happening. Okay, maybe set this something like 50. Still nothing. So it likes the wobble. Maybe we don't want the random movement. There we go. That's looking pretty good. That's looking a little bit earthquake-like. So there we go. You can play with these settings as much as you want. I'm just going to leave them as they are right now. But that's looking pretty good. So now, whenever this filter is enabled, the shake effect takes effect, and it makes it look like everything is moving about. Alright, let's add some sound effects and overlays. So, to do this, we make sure we're in the scene we want for the earthquake, and we're going to add, by right-clicking the sources panel, going to add media source. We're going to name it earthquake overlay and sound effects. Go OK. We want to close file when inactive. Use hardware decoding, that's always good to do. We are going to loop it for the time being, but we will uncheck that later so it doesn't just play forever. And we want to go browse and browse for the earthquake overlay file that you downloaded earlier in the video. If you haven't downloaded that already, just go to the description of this video and download that now. I also want to move this into another folder. Right now it's in my downloads folder, but I don't want to accidentally delete it in future. So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to put it in a folder that I have named streaming, but just put it somewhere safe, somewhere it won't get deleted by accident. So I'm going to paste it in here, go open, and now I'm going to add it to OBS. So you notice it's got a green background. We can remove that pretty easily by adding a chroma key. So just right click the overlay and sound effects, add a filter, plus chroma key, okay? And just by default, it kind of gets it looking how we want, but you can set it up how you like. Now that we've got that chroma key set up, we can close that. We can scale this to fit the screen so it looks like the bits of debris are falling from the top of the screen all the way to the bottom. We lock that in place, and there is actually sound playing. You can see by the audio mixer, but just the way my audio's set up, you can't hear it right now, but I can fix that easily by clicking this, go to advanced audio properties, and just go monitor. So now we can hear it, and you'll notice that in combination with that shake filter we made earlier, kind of sells the whole thing. It gives you a really, really good effect. Okie dokie, Jokey Smokey. We got the notepad out. That's how we know shit is getting serious. In this section, we're going to talk about how to trigger the earthquake that we set up via our chatbots and our stream deck and all that fun stuff. This section might be a little longer. I apologize in advance, but I'm going to try and get through it as quick as I can. I also realized whilst recording this video that the stream deck actually is missing some of the functionality we need to do this. But luckily for you, I found a workaround, and it's in the form of the NOOBS commander, which is an awesome tool developed by Nutty, who is an awesome streamer and YouTuber. So I will, of course, leave links to this in the description below, but all you need to do is download it and install it, and you're good to go. So let's start working through it now. You can see the first step, what we want to do is enable the earthquake overlay and sound effects. So we know that's a source inside our OBS that we want to enable. So on the side here, inside the NOOBS commander, we want to add a source. And we want to enable that source. So we go show source, and we look for the one we want to enable, or what scene is it in. This might be your gameplay or your just chatting or whatever. For me, it's the earthquake example. And the name is the earthquake overlay and sound effects. So that's step one. We have enabled the earthquake overlay and sound effects. Step two is to wait for 1 second. To do this, we just add a delay, and this is in milliseconds, so 1 second equals 1,000 milliseconds. Step 3, we want to enable the earthquake filter. So we look for filter on the side here, we click that. We want to show the filter because we want to enable it. And we look for the scene again, which is the earthquake example. The name of the filter was called earthquake, that's right. So we are enabling the earthquake filter. Now we want to wait for 11 seconds, so we add another delay. 11 seconds is 11,000 milliseconds, and that's that step. Now we want to disable the overlay and disable the filter and return back to normal. So to do this, we just repeat the process again. So we want a source. We want to disable it this time, so hide the earthquake example. I'm gonna find it, and the earthquake overlay and sound effects. And then we want to disable the filter, so we go filter, hide filter, earthquake example, which is there, earthquake. And so now that should be set up. You can see side by side, this all should be working. Luckily for us, the NOOBS commander has a nice little test feature in here. So if we just click test command, and just like that, everything starts to trigger and shake, and you watch, this will turn off automatically in a little bit. Once the 12 seconds goes, boom, and everything is back to normal. So that seems to be working just how we want. The test worked, which is great. First try. And now we just hit export, and we save this somewhere where it won't get deleted. So I'm going to save it in that streaming folder that I use. I'm going to save this as example earthquake. There we go. Enter to save, and now we can close this. We don't need to keep this open anymore. Now that we have set all that up, it's the fun bit of triggering that in the Stream Deck. Now this is all pretty easy. So we go to the Stream Deck, and the one we want is under the System tab. It's called Open. This allows you to open programs, but it also allows you to run executables. So that's what we're going to do. So it looks like a rocket ship. Just look for it on the sidebar here. Add it as one of your buttons. Search for the executable that we made. So I put it in my streaming folder, and you can see here it's called example earthquake. There's actually 2 files here. Oh, you want the bat file, which is this one. So just add that, and just like that, if I press this button, you won't be able to see me press it, but I'm gonna press it now, and it triggers the earthquake just like normal. So that's awesome. That seems to be working. And the great thing is, because we set this all up as a little bat file, rather than setting it all up again and inside here, which we could do, we could use Mix It Up, which is another great chatbot for Twitch. I highly recommend it. We could go through and repeat all these steps inside here, but because we've already set up that file, we can do something even easier. It's just come in here, add an action called external program, click plus, and then we just browse for that again, the earthquake example, grab that, and now if we go play, it triggers again, shake starts to happen, 11 seconds will pass, and then everything will turn off and return back to normal. This will work as well for Streamer.bot, and all sorts of fun things. And the great thing about setting them up inside chatbots like this means that your chat will be able to trigger them via commands and channel points and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into detail how to do that right now. I apologize. This video would end up being way too long. It already is getting close to the 20 minutes mark. But yeah, that's how you set it up. I may make another video on that kind of thing. But hopefully this was helpful. And I appreciate. Yes.
Boomduck. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure to like and subscribe. Sorry if I rushed through a couple of things. I had to record and edit this in my lunch break today, but hopefully you find it helpful. And Ronin, you are old. Thank you, and good night. Bye-bye.